Yeah, so yeah, trades were a huge thing. If I think about it, back in the Nintendo days, probably every decent Nintendo game I ever got was off of a trade. Because, listen, as a kid, a $50 Nintendo tape was out of the cards. I mean, you know, my parents weren't shelling out $50. I wasn't shelling out $50 because, you know, I would make my money mowing lawns, $5 here, maybe $10. I think about the lawns that I mowed for $5. These people should be ashamed of themselves. Pushing my little 3-horse Briggs and Stratton to the limit. Yeah. So any decent Nintendo game I ever got was on a trade. Because when I would go to this, and Nintendo games, old Nintendo games, it was like, you know what? You got what you paid for. Metal Gear, Legend of Zelda, all the Super Mario Brothers games, they all held their value in the store. They were all $40, $50 games that never came down until the end of the Nintendo's life cycle. I don't care what you say. So what would I get stuck, you know, riding my bike to KB Toys out in North Babylon. God knows how many miles that was from my house. And I'd wind up picking up like a 1999 game. And a 1999 game was exactly that. Silent Service, 8 Eyes, Akari Warriors 2, what were some of the other bombs? Some of the Bigfoot, even though I liked Bigfoot, you know, just, you guys know the games. Actually, I got Heavy Barrel, which wasn't a bad arcade port for $19. And then sometimes a game would be like $15, and if it was $15, it was really, really bad. But anyway, yeah, so trading was where it was at. So I can remember doing some great trades at school. Because kids would get bored of their games, you know. You'd play you'd play a game for so long, you get bored. You didn't care how expensive it was, especially some of the kids at school. Their parents were paying for it. They didn't really care. They were just bored of it. They wanted a new game. What did I trade? I traded Wrecking Crew for Mega Man. I think it was Mega Man 3. Oh, it's a fucking sweet trade. I couldn't even believe it. And it was almost just when the game was released. Like the kid had played it, I guess beat it, and that was it. And then I traded him Wrecking Crew for it. Not that Wrecking Crew was a bad game, but still. What else did I trade? I traded a real shit game and got a NES Advantage for it. And oh my God, to get the NES Advantage, you guys have no idea. I think the NES Advantage was the most groundbreaking peripheral that came out for any video game system to this day. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first joystick to have turbo and slow. I mean, slow motion could help you beat games. Slow motion. I use slow motion to help me beat. I beat Rygar legit, don't get me wrong. But I use slow motion on the last boss of Rygar. I know, to initially figure out his pattern. Oh, that NES Advantage. Let me tell you something. Aptly named. Aptly named. I could remember in Rygar. Rygar was the first game where that I ever played. It was I consider an action RPG because you would get experience. So you'd run around and you know, you'd throw that yo-yo thing that you throw, and bang, 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 you'd be getting experience. And if you looked in the menu mode, you could see your experience going up. But I never knew what it was. It said XP. I didn't know what that was. But I eventually figured out that, you know, the more enemies you killed, the stronger you got. So what did I do? I took my NES Advantage. I backed myself up against a rock because those centipedes that came out of the ground would keep respawning. I backed myself up against a rock. I put the turbo on. I taped the button down. And I wrapped electrical tape around the joystick and around the whole NES Advantage so that he was crouched down, because you had to be crouched down in order for your weapon to pick up the item once the enemy was dead. And then I taped what I used to do is I roll up toilet paper into a ball, and then I put the toilet paper on top of the button, and then I'd put tape around the machine to hold the button down, and I turned the turbo up. So he was backed up against a rock, and nobody could hit him from behind, and he'd keep on chopping away at the enemy, and when you hit the enemy and the enemy dropped the little experience tab or the potion tab or whatever, you know, your experience would go up. So that's what I would do. I would put the joystick underneath the TV, I'd shut the TV off, and that's it. And I remember one time I came home from school, and my mother yelled at me, "Hey, you left the Nintendo on. You leave the Nintendo on again. There's some more Nintendo in the morning and whatnot." I was like, "Oh, okay," you know. I was like, "Damn it!" So the next morning, I reset the whole thing, and I put a little piece of tape over the Nintendo light, and that was it. I come home from school, and it was like you're at school, and it was like, oh my god, it's like the NES Advantage is working for you, you know? It's like doing the job for you. And I would be at school, and I'd just be like, it would be like the end of the day, and I'd just be sizzling, and then the bus would pull up, and I just come tearing off the bus, like running top speed. Where you going? Where you going? Gotta go. Run home, get in the house, turn on the Nintendo. There I was, full experience, first board. And then you'd run through Rygar. And you didn't run through, no, there was no such thing as running through Rygar. But at that point, I was so good at it, to have full experience was a breeze. You just blew right through the game. The NES Advantage, aptly named.
No way, dude!
Got any video games at all?
Oh, actually, yeah, I actually have all the video games for sale. Oh, for sale?
Yeah.
Well, we have Game Boys, that's it.
Yeah?
That's it, but I have a PS2, I'm not selling it. It's mine, so. Are you interested in the Game Boy?
Where's the Game Boy?
They're inside.
Oh, okay. Huh? Oh, they're old? I'll take a look at them.
Backyard Baseball, Armored Tank Liberty, all that.
Let's see.
I have one teen game, which is a tank war game. Yeah, you also get these, and you also get this, but you have to charge it.
Okay. There's more games in there?
Yeah, there's a ton more. And here's charger.
Okay. What are you asking for that?
The Game Boy? The whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Both? Both.
Both or one?
For everything.
Both are $5. The Game Boy
$10 for the whole setup.
$10 for the whole thing? Okay, that's fair.
There you go.
Amanda, go underneath the sink. Go get me a big white thing.
Hi. Got any video games at all? Any old
kind?
video games, old Nintendo games, anything like that?
I don't know if she wants to sell them. I just found them, but I don't know. Senora, what did you get?
Hi, I'm with you.
Oh, okay.
There's all Sega.
Okay. Let me see. Anything else, or?
No, just Sega. I do have more, but I don't know where they are.
Oh.
That's all that was in the box.
Okay.
I don't have change or 20.
I do.
You do?
What would you be asking for them?
I don't know. Maybe how many are there? 1,
6
2,
of them.
3.
Well, what's the fair price? Because we didn't look them up.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Oh, I was thinking $1 a game.
No, we'll keep them for $1 a game.
Yeah. Well, what are you asking? I mean,
Okay. Fair price probably would be like $25, $30.
20. That's a little high.
You know, to tell her $1, you know, I'll keep them. I'll throw them out for $1.
I was thinking like $3 a game.
You know, I didn't look them up yet, so
You wouldn't.
they were inside. Usually when I tell somebody a fair price, you know, you got to make a little money. We have to make a little money.
You wouldn't do 2 a game?
No.
All right.
3 a game.
That would be
18.
$12.
That for 2 a game.
2 a game.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do 2 a game?
No. Maybe 15 for all of them.
15 for all.
20 for all of
All right, it's okay. I'll pass.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? In this life, you gotta have a little dignity. Fuck those games. All right, listen up, guys. We take a lot on this show. But if it's one thing we don't have to take, it's any shit from a dried out old crumb cunt like her. We gotta make money. Yeah, if you gotta make money, get a fucking job. Don't make money at the garage sales. Pack it up, honey. That's it, we're out of here. We don't take shit like that. We got integrity on this show. Fuck her. I'll give you 15.
Okay.
Get change for 20?
Yes. That I do.
Here you go.
3, 4, 5. Thank you.
I'm glad you were here. I'm afraid of your mom.
Well, I had to talk with her. I said, you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. But thank you very much.
All right. Have a good sale. All right, so let me explain the situation here. So family things pop up. I had to go upstate to pick up my stepdaughter from college on Saturday. So naturally, all week long they're saying, "Oh, it's going to rain. You know, we're going to have a terrible rain." Friday and Saturday it's going to be terrible rain. So what happens? Saturday winds up being like the most beautiful day you could ever imagine in your goddamn life. So we're all the way up in Oswego. We're sitting in a diner eating breakfast, and I happen to mention, hey, you know, maybe before we drive home, we go around to a couple of garage sales in the local area, because I saw signs all over the place. Well, I might as well have said that I wanted to go out and bomb a children's hospital, because I got gasps and everybody, what are you? Oh, now? Oh, with the ride home? You know what? Fuck me. So anyway, hold on. Let me get the place ready here. Look at this. I invite you guys into the fortress of solitude, and I don't even have the place ready. Yeah, so that's it. So you want to talk about tension, you want to talk about stress? All day long, I'm driving home yesterday, and I'm biting my nails. I'm like, thinking about all the garage sales that we missed. But hell, we go out on Sunday, right? And listen, guys, there's nothing worse than going out Sunday garage selling. Because you hear all the horror stories. You hear all, oh yeah, well yeah, we had video games yesterday. Oh, we had King Tut's tomb here. Yeah, thing was made out of gold. It weighed a ton. I just wanted to get it out of here. Gave it to the guy for $20. It's the kind of shit that you hear on Sunday. Or you go there, or they say that they're gonna have the garage sale on Saturday and Sunday, but they decided not to have the sale on Sunday, and they were too lazy to go outside and take down the signs. So you're driving down, you're driving mile after mile searching for yard sales that aren't even there. So I mean, what can you do? Let's get started here anyhow. We went to 2 garage sales. So here we go, and this is why you gotta love Mom. Because Mom, she says to me, I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but she's like, well, you know, it's old Game Boy stuff. And I was thinking to myself like, oh, well, I guess I'll take a look at it for you. But anyway, here we go. 2 Game Boy SPs. And, well, let's see if they fire up here. What I'm always amazed by these Game Boys is that, let me see. And look at that, it fires right up. It's like these things are unbelievable. I don't know what kind of battery. They put atomic batteries in these things? Because every time I get one and fire it up, it turns on. Okay, let's see if the other one. Before I talk too quick. Yeah, there it goes. So anyway, I mean, Nintendo, they make great stuff. Their handhelds are like bulletproof. Anyhow, I mean, especially, you know what kids do to these goddamn things. So anyway, yeah, bunch of wires here. I don't know, maybe some link-up cable, the adapter, whatever, and a bunch of games that I haven't looked at yet. So let's look at them together. The kid said there was a ton of games in there. I thought he was joshing, but there kind of is a ton of games in there. So let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm just going to blast right through here. You know, I really don't have, you know, what I know about the Game Boy Advance, you can basically fit in a thimble. So, you know, I'm probably not telling anybody anything new here. Okay. Shrek. Lilo and Stitch. Backyard Baseball. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. That's pretty neat. SpongeBob SquarePants Volume 1. Rayman Raving Rabbids. The Fairly Old Parents Shadow Showdown. My camera's slacking today. A DS game. This is the only DS game in the lot. Mario Kart DS. Kong, the Eighth Wonder of the World. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Volume 1. The Fairly Old Parents Enter the Cleft. Okay. Frogger's Adventures. Cartoon Network Collection Platinum Edition. Interesting. The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, The Four Swords. You know, my experience with the Game Boy Advance goes like this. 3 games. Tony Hawk, skateboarding, I don't know, and I was stuck in it. When I bought it a Game Boy Advance years ago. Might have been years ago. But it had Tony Hawk in it. And I played that just to see if it was working, and it was like the game kind of grabbed me. It was a good game. I was like, wow, there's something to this thing. And then I popped in Pokemon Sapphire, I believe, and I played, or was it Ruby? And I played that, and I was like, wow, you know what's interesting about this Game Boy Advanced? It's almost like, and it was like a role-playing game that you would have expected on like the Super Nintendo. So it's interesting that the handhelds of the Game Boy Advance's day kind of has the role-playing games that we kind of wished for on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So I mean, here we go. I mean, a Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I imagine it's much along the same lines as A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. And if that's the case, wow, home run, right? Okay, moving along. Operation Armored Liberty. Volume 1, The Fairly Old Parents. Okay. Crash Bandicoot, The Huge Adventure. What the fuck is going on out there? Sorry about that, neighbors. Guy's yelling at his dog out there. SpongeBob SquarePants. This guy over here, okay, he's got one of these bellies. I don't know if you can see. He's got one of these bellies that hangs over his belt, hangs over his fucking dick too. He's got this huge belly, and he comes out, and it's amazing how some people can live. I don't know. Here, let me show you. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to get away from the show here, but the guy comes out, and he hangs on a railing like this, like one of those metal railings on the steps that go down. He comes out, and he hangs on the railing like he can barely hold himself up. I'm not trying to laugh about the guy, it's a shame. And he sits there and he smokes one cigarette after another. It's like, you know, come on, what did you just give up in life, you know? Anyway. If there was an Olympics for smoking cigarettes, you'd be a gold medalist. When are they going to start that event? All right. Okay, enough of that. Okay, here we go. And Harry Potter. Okay, so what are we talking about here? We're talking about, let me show you. Hey, come over here, let me show you. Because I can't lift these all, they're kind of... Okay, we got about, I would say about, if I do a quick count, I'd say about 18, 19, maybe 20 games, and the 2 Game Boys for $10. Now, normally I don't get a hard-on over handheld games, but, you know, Game Boy Advanced, I think it's a really neat system. So, moving right along. All right, now here, you know, here's one I'm a little embarrassed about. I got to be honest with you guys. And you know what? We kind of bit the bullet on this one, because, you know, it was the end of the day. I tried to get these games for. I tried to get them for $2 a piece. I was kind of in panic mode because, like I said, it was the end of the day, and, you know, I want to get something to present to the show. So this lady was being like a real fucking bitch. You know. I don't know. Fuck, I can't get the fucking marbles out of my mouth. Alright, we're back. So story with this is, basically, it was the end of the day. I kind of had to swallow my pride. And I basically went crawling back. The girl wanted $3 a game. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games here. I offered a 15 for them, and that's about. Jesus Christ, this is like going terribly. All right, guess who's back? So the deal is, you know, we walked out of there. I came crawling back with my tail between my legs. There's no two ways about it. But it was the end of the day. and I was really, I had to bring home something, you know. I feel like, you know, you guys are like my baby birds, and if I don't come home with anything, you're gonna starve to death. So here, let me regurgitate this back into your mouth. Anyway, so here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Complete. The Bernstein Bears Camping Adventure. Disney's Aladdin. And Mrs. Pac-Man. I think I could walk outside the front door of my house, throw a rock, and I'll hit a Miss Pac-Man for Sega Genesis. It seems like every time you get a lot of Sega Genesis games, you get a Miss Pac-Man. But this is complete in the cardboard box. The Lion King. And Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball. Hey, listen. Nothing special about this lot of Sega Genesis games right here. That goes without saying. But hey, the Sega Genesis games nonetheless. So, over to the game shelf. Somebody had recommended that I move something. I moved the Sega Genesis games up? No. I moved something up and put the GameCube games. Here's the problem with that. The GameCube games are too tall for any of the shelves. So guess what? They gotta stay down there. I'm sorry, bro. Hold on a second. We're not even straight here. Come on. Get it together. Alright. Okay. Here we go. Well, look at this. We have two Aladdins. We have two Aladdins. Hey, anybody want to trade Aladdin? Let me know. And that's it. We'll just jam the rest of them up there. Like that. As far as the Game Boy games are concerned, I really don't know how to display them. We'll put the Game Boys up there, because that's where all the Game Boy stuff is. And the other games, I don't know, maybe we'll put them in a coffee can or something and put them on the shelf. I really don't know how to put them up there. But anyway, I'm Midhead 1000. You just tuned into the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. We'll see you guys next time.